In these videos, we've been talking quite a bit about the re-acceleration of inflation and how commodities might be turning into sort of maybe a mini bull cycle here, and how we want to be long some of that stuff. I want to go into a bit more detail on this because one of my analysts, John Burnell, just created just an absolutely fantastic chart on this. And I'd like to show you what that looks like. Before we even look at that, though, let me quickly show you the DJP. This is a simple ETF that everyone can track. DJP, it's the IPATH Bloomberg Commodity Index. It's an ETF. And you can see how we're starting to sort of break above here. We've got some overhead resistance here from moving averages, if you find that helpful to see. But I think ultimately, this is something the DJP ETF, I would imagine, should be able to get into the sort of low 30s, call it 33, 32 and a half-ish area. But where it really gets interesting is, again, this is the chart that John Burnell created for us, one of our internal analysts. And you can see the picture really rhyming. And this is why it's so important that we always make such a big deal about showing to people how when we come up with trade ideas, how they're rooted ultimately in sort of bigger picture analysis. So you can see here, for example, it's all happening at the same time, all been happening at the same time. And roughly all these things made higher lows in early February. So anything from just commodities in general, then inflation-protected securities in a ratio versus bonds, it's an inflation gauge, 10-year note yields, copper futures, energy, crude oil, break-even inflation rates, and even lumber futures, right? And there's a ton of other stuff as well, by the way. But you can see how all this stuff is starting to break higher, and really just giving us that much more, giving this trade idea so much more credibility. And of course, our market rover is firing off all sorts of new buy signals along this idea as well. A lot of this stuff has been algorithm driven. And so one of the things that we have noticed is that over the past number of days, 2-3 weeks or so, we've seen an increasing amount of computer algorithms come in and give us buy signals as the machines have been switching towards buying this stuff as well. We'll show you guys how the algorithms have been doing this, our indicator that tracks what the big computer algorithms are doing on Wall Street, and how we can really kind of jump on the back of what they're doing. In this week's research call, we're going to talk about how to use our B2 reversal indicator. I call it an algorithm sniffer. It finds what all other algorithms are doing. And if that's a topic that interests you, we'd love to see you there in that discussion. As always, you can sign up for that down below or on the next screen, and we'll see you there.